The 2017 Telstra Australian Businesswoman of the Year is Violet Roumeliotis.
It's extraordinary, thank you. Such an honour. And I allowed myself a glass of wine. I thought it was all over. When my colleagues first nominated me for the Telstra Businesswomen's Award, the idea of being selected as a state finalist seemed quite remote, let alone standing in front of you as the 2017 Telstra Businesswoman of the Year. And I'm incredibly grateful for this recognition and the opportunity this gives me to amplify the voice of refugees and highlight the issues faced by newly arrived communities. In Australia, there is a pressing need to change the narrative around refugees and people seeking asylum, to move away from language that focuses on boat people and illegals, and instead to focus on our shared humanity. The mantle of that responsibility falls on all of our shoulders. As the events of the recent years have shown us, we can't leave it to others to step in. We can't just rely on activists to speak for us in the hope that we'll create the change we desire. Within all of us is the ability to shift our country's attitude towards refugees and asylum seekers. All we have to do is find the drive and compassion to fuel that change. And I'm sure we all feel a great shame and sadness when we see what's happening at Manus Island at the moment. And as Australians, we share a history of migration. And nowadays, we have a great appreciation for the contribution of these earlier settlers, such as the Snowy River Scheme or the diverse range of culinary options that we enjoy today. But just like our newest community members, many of these earlier migrants were greeted with fear and hostility. In order to move away from the position of fear, we need to get curious about our newest community members. We shouldn't fear our differences. We should embrace them and, in the process, learn more about what we have in common with people rather than having labels like refugee and asylum seeker in a negative way. So we have an obligation, I feel, to support refugees and people seeking asylum so they become meaningful members of community. They're aspirational. They are people that we should treat with dignity. They want to live good lives. And I'm sure that all of us can step up and make a difference. And if I can do anything out of the next 12 months is to amplify the voices of people with those lived experiences and hopefully make it a more inclusive society where people feel that they belong. Thank you very much.